Hi everyone, Miss Kelly here, or you might recognise me as Bella and Liv's mum. Namaste. Namaste means the goodness in me sees the goodness in each and every one of you. So when you're ready, we're just going to find our place to the mat. If you don't have a mat, that's okay. You can just go wherever you like in your home, or maybe even outside on the grass if it's a nice day, or on the deck, wherever you like. And you might not realise, but I'm also a yoga teacher. So I thought it might be nice to share with you a beautiful yoga practice today. So you may have done a little bit of yoga before, or maybe you've never even done yoga before, and that's okay. Let's just have a little bit of fun with this. So just a couple of things you need to know about yoga before we get started. So yoga is about moving your body, and when we move our body, we really concentrate and think about how we're going to get into each of the beautiful postures that we come into. And a way that we can do this is by connecting our breath with our movement. So you might not think too much about your breath. You might think, okay, I can breathe in and out. But sometimes we have a shallow breath and we breathe all the way up really high in our chest, right up near our collarbones. And yes, it's keeping us alive, but it doesn't really help us if we have a shallow breath. We need to have a deep belly breath. So these are things that I'm going to talk to you about today as we move through a beautiful yoga practice. So I'd also like to say to you, well done on being so committed to being really good at doing your work at home for your mums and your dads. So well done, give yourself a pat on the back, awesome work. So when you're ready, just get nice and comfortable. You might like to sit with your legs crossed. You might like to move a foot a little bit further away from your shin, so it's just gently resting on your shin there. Or if you'd like, you can pick up your foot and lift it up a little bit higher onto your thigh, whatever feels good for you. If that doesn't feel good, don't worry, just go back to a comfortable seated position. Rolling the shoulders back and down. Even that little movement can feel so good. And just notice your spine. Are you hunched forward? If you are, see if you can pick yourself up, roll your shoulders down and back. So your shoulders are away from your ears and sliding down a little. Well done. So when you're ready, let's just together take a deep breath in and out. And I'll just remind you with your breath, when we practice yoga, generally we breathe in through the nose and also out through the nose. There will be a couple of times when I'll suggest you breathe out through your mouth. And when we breathe out through the mouth, it feels really good just to let go of anything that you don't want to hold on to anymore. Maybe you feel a bit stiff and you want to let go of all the stiff parts in your body. So that's what we can do with our breath. So let's start off by doing that. So we'll have 3 deep breaths out of the mouth. Taking a deep, beautiful breath in, out through the mouth. 2 more times. Deep breath in and out. And again, deep breath in and out. Beautiful. So now we're ready. We've completely released the stagnant air from our lungs. So we've got fresh lungs now. Good work. So now let's just gently lift up the shoulders and down, up and down. So it's like you're shrugging your shoulders. Just imagine all the tightness from your shoulders, all the worries, all the, the fatigue, just leaving them. So it feels really good. Well done. And let's bring them forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. Well done. Coming to stillness, floating the fingertips to the tops of the shoulders here. And then bringing the elbows forward to meet, up, down and back. So it's like little circles. So you can imagine you have a paintbrush on the very end or the tip of your elbows. And we're painting beautiful circles in the sky. And then when you're ready, let's go around in the opposite direction. So just remember to breathe in through your nose, all the way down to the belly and out through the nose. Keep going. Notice how it feels. Does one shoulder feel a little bit different to the other? And that's okay. Every day we feel different. So just notice what your body is doing and how you feel. Well done. Let's rest the hands down. And for now, let's take a deep breath in and out. This time, as we breathe in, we're picking our chin up, dropping the head back, and breathing freely as you paint a rainbow across the sky with your chin. So imagine the paintbrush is on your chin now, and you're stretching the sides of your neck as well as the front of the neck. Keep breathing deep, beautiful breaths. Notice how good it feels to lengthen your neck. And then coming to the center again. Well done. Breathing freely. And notice that when you're working a lot during the day, so maybe you're typing on the computer or writing, your neck can become stiff. So these are excellent exercises for your neck. So let's take a deep breath in. And as we release the air out, we're dropping the chin down the chest, and we're just gently sweeping our chin across the chest from shoulder to shoulder. Notice how good it feels. So this time you're stretching not only the sides of the neck, but especially the back of the neck. Feels so good, especially if you allow your head to be heavy here. So you feel a deeper stretch. Well done. And then coming back to center again. Notice how you feel just from doing those simple little neck exercises. So now we'll bring the fingertips together, pressing the palms away, lengthening the arms. A nice stretch for the arms. And you're also stretching your fingers here too. And when you're ready, inhale, picking the arms up overhead. If you like, you can look up at your fingertips too, breathing freely. So when I say breathing freely, I just mean you don't need to control your breath. You're just noticing your breath. And we're breathing as deeply as we can down to the belly. Beautiful. And then bringing the arms back down. Let's relax the hands, interlace the fingers behind us, and pressing the palms away. So it's like you're trying to press the inside of your hand away from you. And notice that you're creating a little bit more space in front of your body too. And if it feels good, maybe start to gently just tip forward a little. Breathing freely. So with yoga, we don't push too hard, we don't try too hard, we listen to our body, and we only ever go to a point that feels safe and comfortable. And then releasing the hands down. Well done. How do your arms feel? Hopefully they feel nice and long because we've stretched them out. Lovely. And when you're ready, we're going to float the left hand to the right knee, sunshine the right arm all the way behind us. And we're looking over the right shoulder, breathing freely. Notice what your spine is doing. So we're twisting. It's really good for your internal organs to do this beautiful twisting exercise. Breathing freely. So you're trying to look over your right shoulder as far as you can. Remember, never into any pain. You don't want to hurt yourself. And then coming back to center. So this spinal twist is really good for your digestive system. And when you're ready, floating the right hand to the left knee, sunshining the left arm all the way behind us, and looking over your left shoulder. Using your breath here to help you twist around a little more. So on the inhale, you prepare to exhale, and you might be able to look over the left shoulder a little bit more. Well done. And then coming back to center again. Now, you have been typing and you have been writing, so let's do some exercises for our wrists. So let's just simply rotate the wrists around and around. Notice how you're sitting. Are you hunched? Hopefully you're sitting up nice and tall. And let's switch the legs over. Well done. So we're balancing both hips here. And just breathing freely. You're not controlling your breath. You're just waking up the wrists a little bit. Especially, if you've been writing lots and lots, which I'm sure you have, you need to give back to your wrists. And then let's lengthen left arm. So we've flipped the left hand, and with the right fingers, we're just gently easing the left fingers towards us. We're not pushing. We're not doing it very hard. We're just gently, with a little bit of pressure, we're trying to ease the left fingers back. So we're lengthening out the wrist here, breathing freely. Deep, beautiful breaths. Lovely, and then release. And then for the opposite side, so lengthening right arm, flipping the hand over. With the left hand, we're just gently easing the right fingertips back, just ever so gently, nice and gently. Noticing you're releasing the tension in your right wrist. Breathing freely, deep, beautiful breaths. Lovely, and coming back to center. So we're going to do a little exercise called pranayama, which is a yoga word for breath. So we're going to focus on our balloon breath. You may have done this before in sport. So with our breath, we're imagining that when we take a deep breath in, we're imagining there's a balloon all the way down here at the lower part of the belly. So when we breathe in, we're expanding the balloon, blowing it up. So we're really puffing our bellies out. And when we exhale, we're trying to get rid of all the air. So we're squeezing the air out of the balloon. So let's have a practice. As we take a deep breath in, you're expanding your belly like you're blowing up a balloon. And as you exhale, you're releasing all the air from the balloon. Well done. Let's go again. A deep, beautiful breath like you're blowing up a balloon in your belly. And exhale, releasing all the air from your balloon. Well done. Let's go again. A deep, beautiful breath into your belly, expanding your belly, blowing up the balloon. And exhale, releasing all the air. Lovely. And just breathe naturally. And I'd like to pose a question to you right now. How do you feel? So you might find just from that little simple exercise of breathing that you feel a lot more rested. So it's so quick and easy to do. You can do it at any time. Really good for a brain break once you've been doing lots of schoolwork. So you can do that at any time of the day or even before bed. So when you're ready, we're going to bring the left forearm down to the mat. If it's too far for you to reach, you can come onto your fingertips or even into the palm. Okay, so just notice where you're at, and then lifting up the right arm as tall as you can, looking up at your fingertips. If that's easy for you, maybe have a go coming down onto your forearm. Beautiful, so the arm is nice and straight. If you'd like a little bit more, see if you can bend easily over. So you're easing over little by little bit. You're not forcing your body. And notice what's happening on the right side of your body. So the muscles in between your ribs are expanding. Excellent. And then floating back to center. And for the opposite side, maybe initially starting on the fingertips, lifting the left arm up. And if that's okay, easing over a little. If that's easy for you, you might like to come down onto the right forearm. Beautiful. And notice now that you're stretching the left side of your body. And notice how good it feels to stretch. Beautiful. So you're breathing in fresh oxygen into all the cells in your body. And then coming back to center. Well done, everyone. You can give yourselves a little cuddle, a little pat on the back. Lovely. And then coming on to all fours. So you may have heard of cow and cat pose. So with this one, firstly, we need to make sure that we have 2 fist distance between our knees. So just gently opening up the knees so the knees are about hip width apart. Making sure you can fit 2 fists between there, and then floating the hands down. So we want the wrists to be on top of the elbows underneath the shoulders. So we should all be stacked one on top of the other, nice and aligned. Beautiful. And when you're ready, taking a deep breath in, tucking the tailbone up, looking up, and exhale, dropping the head, curving the spine. And again, inhale, breathe in, and breathe out. And again, breathe in, and out. So think about what you're doing right now with your body. Noticing that you're releasing tension in your spine, so you're freeing up your spine. So if you've been sitting down for a long time, this is really good for our body, really good for our spine. Inhale as you tuck your tailbone up, exhale as you drop your head. So you can do this as many times as you like. We're coming back nice and easy to a neutral spine, so nice flat back. Lovely. And then if it feels good, you might like to float the hands a little bit more forward, so closer to the top of the mat. And imagine the number 8. So we're going to paint the number 8 with our whole body. I'll talk you through it. As you breathe in, bring the weight of your body over to your right wrist, then to your left wrist. Exhale, drop back to your right heel, floating over to the left heel, and continue to move like this so it becomes more fluid. Beautiful. So you're creating the number 8 with your body. And notice how good it feels to move your whole body. Well done. Now when you're ready, reversing the number 8, going in the opposite direction. So you're using the muscles in your body, you're lengthening the muscles, you're contracting the muscles, and you're breathing nice and deeply. Remember that balloon breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, let's come back to a neutral spine again. And we're coming into downward facing dog. So for downward dog, we tuck the toes under, then we pick the knees up and lift the tailbone up. Beautiful. So you might be here, and that's fine, or you might like to press each heel one by one.